would like to introduce today Deborah McGovern, who is here to talk to us about pHix, the amazing new fat loss product that is transforming the world in so many ways. And Deb has been involved with pHix from almost the beginning, certainly almost the beginning of when the product arrived in Australia. So I wanted to talk to Deb today and ask her about her experience with pHix and tap into her knowledge about it and have a look at some of the amazing testimonials that Deb has witnessed. So welcome, Deb. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, I'm excited. This is new for us. So want to spread it out to the world. So more than happy to share.
Yeah, well, that's it. When you get your hands on something like this that you see making such a difference in people's worlds and in their health and their well-being, you do want to share it with the world. So let's do that now. So just tell me, let's just start with the basics. So what exactly is pHix for those who don't know, and what makes it stand out from other fat loss products?
Right. So I came across this product in early September last year, and it was just from a friend's Facebook post, and it was talking about menopausal fat loss, and if you could lose fat naturally, would you be interested? And it was like, yeah, of course I would. You know, I'm really super clean most of the time, hey puppy, and I wanted it, and that was it. And then I started to, so I signed up there and then. That was it. And then I started to look at a little bit of the research. I thought, oh, this is interesting. Finding out that it was came from the hops flower. And we all know hops is what beer is made of. And then understanding there was a process that it came about in the 1950s. They found it in the 1950s, some scientists, and that there were 3 isolates taken from isolated parts of the hop flower. So I know naturopaths use the whole hop flower, but this wasn't. It was just isolated parts of the hop flower. And they discovered during their testing that there was fat loss, but it was mainly visceral fat loss. And visceral fat loss is the damaging, harmful fat around our major organs. And so that was it then, because I've been a nurse of 28 years, you know, sticking a band-aid on everything, chronic disease at all-time high. I wasn't even thinking about the health benefits at all at that time. It was, yeah, give me some fat loss, you know, because it doesn't matter how clean I am. I just, like this gut was a pain, you know, my fat belly was a pain, and I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't comfortable with it. And so after I did that research, though, and it was such a simple little advert that I answered, I thought, I have to share this. So I just shared it with 2 girlfriends. And it was like, oh, God, yeah, hell yeah. And I think you might have been one of them, Catherine. And yeah, sign me up, you know. And so that was it. And then I didn't get my product for 3 weeks, but in that time I started to share, and I thought, wow, this is something the world really, really wants, because my friends would just say, yeah, I'm up for it. And because it was clean and it was 100% natural. So I just got the product, started to use it, and I was one of the 1% that had crazy amazing results. There was this app I used, and I literally just kept losing tens and tens and tens of centimeters. And then, but the biggest thing was my sleep. And I started to sleep, like I would go to sleep at night, and then I was waking up in the morning, and it was daylight, you know, it was just daylight. And it was like, what just happened? And I was having the weirdest dreams, like the wildest dreams. It was crazy. But then I started to feel and see my waist coming back. So I knew that, gosh, this is like great. And so all these wonderful things started to happen. And then I realized I'm a body worker as well. So I used to go to work I've gone off on a tangent, haven't I? It's because I just get so passionate about this. I work as a body worker, and I've had a chronic nurse's back. You know, gone are the days we used to like yank people up the beds. And so we all ended up with these chronic neck and, you know, prolapsed discs in our spine. And every Friday morning after I'd worked in the clinic on a Thursday, I would be like crouched over like an old lady, and I'd walk to the toilet. And by the time I got to the bathroom, I was straight. And then after about 3 weeks, I went to the loo and I came back and I sat on the side of the bed and I went, I haven't got any pain. I have no pain. And I
Wow.
realized that my pain had gone, and I swear my pain has never come back. I came off pHix for a week because I thought I want to see what's going to happen. Like sometimes, your naturopath will say, just have a break, have a couple of weeks breather. And on day 4, I started to feel my inflammation come back in my neck. And I just thought, wow, which then led me to believe, well, does this mean I have to be on it for life, or is my body still going through a healing process? And I realized that there's so much damage in my body. And I realized just how much inflammation I had in my body, even though I'm like, normally I'm a clean eater. I eat well. I'm not a big drinker. I have an occasional drink. But yeah, I don't know, it just shifted something, and then that was it. I just started to share because I just knew what we have is so amazing. So literally, it's the 3 isolated parts of the hop flower. But in the 50s, they had to put it to bed. They had to put it to sleep because it was going to cost $1 million back then in the 50s to produce a gallon. So imagine what that would convert to now. But now they've got the facilities to do it. And
Wow.
we are. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my starter.
And so since it has turned out to be over the last, 8 months or so much more than just fat loss, what are some of the stories that you're being told, some of the incredible healing stories that you're hearing?
And of course, we have to do the disclaimer as well that this is a fat loss product, and everybody's journey and everybody's result is individual. But what we're seeing and what we're learning is that as the fat, I didn't even really know this, like toxins are stored within fat cells. And we've all got visceral fat, unless you're an absolute super duper athlete, that runs 25 miles a day. You're unlikely to have that much visceral fat, but everybody has visceral fat, and toxins are stored within fat. When the fat comes away, which it does through the thermogenesis, which is the fat burning process, which pHix does for up to 9.5 hours, I experienced some like mild detox symptoms. But what we're finding out now is that some people aren't even, it's not a weight loss product. We must get that really clear. Your scales may never change. My scales went up. My scales went up 2 kilos at one point, but my lean body mass has increased and my centimeters were going down and have still stayed stable. So as people with chronic illness, right? So I have a testimonial page, Catherine's on it as well, and we have over 1,000 people in there, and they're posting testimonials. Testimonials are coming in from around the world that are mind-blowing. And there's not a week go by that I don't cry tears, because especially on the Winner's Circle, we have this weekly live testimonial page, and people come on there and share the most profound stories. One of my biggest one, she sits in my heart because she's a friend in the UK, is she's called Sarah. She's got a list of chronic conditions, a young woman, early 30s, MS, fibromyalgia, other chronic illnesses. She was losing her eyesight in her right eye, and she gives us a monthly update. And then the first one was, oh my God, like I'm off my pain meds. And then the second one is I'm walking without my stick. And it just gets bigger. And then last month's was, you're not going to believe this, guy. And she sat bawling her eyes out in a car because she's just been to the ophthalmologist, who she recorded saying that, I'm not sure what's happened here, but your optic nerve is repairing. That's unheard of. That does not happen. So,
Wow.
you know, we're hearing stuff with, I just interviewed a guy, Brian, 74-year-old with COPD, with lung disease, which he was a heavy smoker when he was a youngster, and his lung function has increased. And he can now bend down and tie his shoelaces. He's walking without his frame. And every single day we are hearing the most amazing testimonials. And so what that proves to us is that as the inflammation is reducing, like this plant pHix, it's plant medicine. Let's face it, it's nature's fix. This is what it is. We're coming back to nature, and people are coming off their medications. And one of the biggest testimonials we get flooding in is diabetes. Type 2 diabetics completely normalizing blood sugars. You know,
Incredible.
what a difference is that going to make to the world? Like,
Yeah.
I must have seen over 100 plus testimonials of type 2 diabetics that are now off their metformin. They are off their horrible, shitty drugs, you know?
Yeah.
And people who've been on Ozempic, it's like, get off that stuff, you know? Because I said it's fighting against the fix. And so they
Mm-hmm.
have it, and now their bodies are coming back into. So this is what we're finding, that our bodies are starting to come back into what is classed as homeostasis. It's into a balanced state. And you know, we now know about the what is it, the vagus nerve. I was saying last night that, you know, 28 years a nurse, I didn't even know about the vagus nerve. You know, I probably didn't in anatomy physiology in the 80s, but it's how important it is. And pHix, as soon as it enters the mouth, stimulates the vagus nerve, which then goes down and goes to all the major organs.
Yeah.
And so this is not just fat loss. It is
Mm.
so much bigger. And part of my mission statement is healing the world one by one. And I'll tell you what, that is what every single one of us is doing. Not only healing our own bodies, but I cannot scream this product loud enough, because it's changing so many lives.
And unlike all the pharmaceutical drugs, of course, that come with so many side effects, um, and we're seeing that with Ozempic and so many other of their products, they do harm, they cause more harm to the body than anything else. And so this is what is so wonderful about pHix, is that there are no negative side effects. It's all natural. It's giving the body a great environment to be able to tap into its own innate healing wisdom, and then do what it needs to do to heal. And so this is why I guess that we're seeing so many um different situations that are being healed, because you know, a skeptic might come along and say, well, how could one herb heal diabetes or you know, dementia or cognitive issues or fibromyalgia, all these different conditions, gut conditions and all sorts of things. But it's amazing, like what we're seeing across the board, and the breadth of different conditions that are improving for people in relatively short periods of time.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Dr. Bowers, he's Dr. Ben Bowers, he's an ISR like we are, independent sales rep, but he has his own research labs, and he's just conducted a 6-month trial with 6-month trials with 65 different trials within that period of over 450 patients and clients of his. And there is now a white published paper, right? It's published, and it was like, there's no denying what this product is not doing for our bodies. No denying whatsoever. And if anybody wants it, Catherine's got access to it. And
I've actually got it printed out here, and I wasn't necessarily going to bring it up today, but now that you've brought it up, I mean, I've read this quite a few times now, and it's really good reading for anyone who's remotely interested, and particularly for those people that like to, read some more of the factual things. Some people love to hear people's own personal testimonies, and that really, gets them interested and excited. Other people like to know more about the scientific side of things, and it
Mm.
really is such a good read, and it talks about even body types and how they can differ from person to person. But he talks about the how they grow the hops, and then he talks into talking about the isolates that you were mentioning, and the different resins and all that type of thing. But he talks about some of the ways that it can impact on the body, and it's so long that I'm actually having trouble
Yeah.
to find it. But he talks about how it might promote fat breakdown, which I found really interesting, because he talks about the white fat, the brown fat. Um, he talks about how it can actually um, moderate our appetite, so that we're just not as interested in food. And that's what I found myself, that
Mm.
takes
Mhm.
away that thinking about food all the time, and you
Yeah.
just kind of find that, oh, it's like, dinner time, and I haven't really thought about food at all. And
Yeah.
but he even talks about how it causes apoptosis
Mhm.
to the fat cells, which I found incredible. And I've never heard of that before. So it even mentions that it may help in causing apoptosis to cancer cells. So,
Wow.
just
Mm.
amazing, the
Yeah.
potential for how this can help the body. So well
It's
worth the read.
well worth a read. It really is. I mean, I printed it off and I've read it a couple of times, but like you say, I focus on one thing and I go, wow, I can't, it's so hard to believe, there's like any business, there are ups and downs. And I just know that this is just so worth shouting to the world. There was a time that, oh, I would never tell my doctor, it's like that syndrome. It's like, no, I sent it to my doctor, I sent it to my naturopath. I am shouting. We've got so many, it was over 200 now, naturopaths, chiros, osteopaths, GPs, nurses. There are health professionals that are supporting this, because there are pharmacists. We've got a couple of pharmacists on board now. And this is like, okay, this is real, because if you're in a profession like that, you're not going to promote anything natural, because we know that a lot of doctors, are promoting, because our not friend, Mr. P. And we also know that we probably will be a target for Mr. P in time, because people are coming off their medications.
Yeah.
And that is, it's bloody great. And Robin, who is a naturopath, she's our upline. She's been a naturopath for 35 years, and she actually had her own weight loss drops, and she used to have them compounded in Sydney. And when she was approached with pHix before it came into the country, it was from via Terry. That her and Terry were saying, could we put them together? But hers was so complex, you had to take them 3 times a day at a certain time of day, and you had to take them with food or before. There was a protocol. And then she realized, when she started to take them, that the impact they were having on her body and her mind, it was like, oh, and she just scrapped her own weight loss drops that she'd had for years. And
That's
so all those
incredible.
patients, isn't it? So and everybody is different. We've had people say, oh, it's not worked for me. Well, I'm sorry, it is working for you in some way. It has to be. There's
Yeah.
too many, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of testimonials coming out, especially like the US are boom. And it's like, I tell you, just ask Catherine to come into this group and you see for yourself, because that some of them are just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Even my
Well,
own. Go on, sorry, Catherine.
I was just going to say that would you kind of compare it to, considering that there's so much going on deep inside the abdomen, and helping to decrease that fat around the organs that you can't see what's going on. I mean, it's almost like, when you plant a seed and a whole lot's going on underneath the soil, but you can't see it, but it is
Mhm.
happening. And I kind of wonder, is it that sort of effect, do you think?
I absolutely believe that that is what happens. And Dr. Bowers, in one of his previous videos that he did, he talked about the three body types, and that, some people will, the 1% like myself, will get those instant results, and then you'll get to 12 weeks and there could be a bridge that you have to cross to get to the next stage. And so there is no doubt in my mind that this is working on some level in your body. As soon as it hits that vagus nerve, it can't not. It can't not
Mm,
once it goes into the gut, which is, and we're all, every single person on this earth has some kind of toxicity in their body. It doesn't matter how super clean you are, whether you water fast, whether you're a breatharian, whatever you are, we are breathing in chemicals. We are eating chemicals. Our food is covered in plastics. We've got poisons that our food is sprayed with. Our clothes contain plastics. If you've ever had an injection or a filling, we are toxic. And so what pHix is doing, it's not going to come and go, well, hey, here we go. This is a process. The body's got to go through this process.
mm,
And I talked into last night that when I drink, same with my water, I structure my water every day, but when I take my pHix, I always have gratitude. I always say thank you. And I'm doing it with my fulvic now as well. I always say thank you. Thank you for the grace that you are. Thank you for supporting my body to heal. May you touch every cell in my body. Whatever it is that day, I say a little mantra. Because if you know Dr. Emoto's work and Veda Austin, beautiful Veda from New Zealand, the proof is there. We can talk to water and even to food, and we've seen it turning black and we've seen it turning spiky. So if we learn to trust that what we're doing for our bodies is good and great and healing, then our bodies are going to go, yeah, bring it on, and let's have some more, and so for me, it's an absolute no-brainer. You cannot afford not to do this. And I
mm,
know that tribe, I know who you are. I know you are the workers of light, and that we have a job to do. And if we can be our ultimate premium self, or working towards it, then we're just going to shine even brighter. And that's why I'm so passionate about this business now. I never thought I was a death doula. I never thought I was doing this business full time. And full time
mm.
is, from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. I work, but I have fun. I have fun doing it. It's joyful. I get to talk to people like Catherine and support people to build a business. I'm not a businesswoman. Actually, I am a businesswoman now. You know, help people's bodies to heal. What better, what a better way, And with the company MPG, we are the only people in the world to have this product, and only ever will. Nobody
Mm.
else is going to have this product.
Yeah,
And I
that's
just
that's
remember saying, if
phenomenal.
there was one shop in the world that could sell water, nobody else in the world had water, think how long the queue would be. Well, I'm telling you, the queue needs to be that long too, because we're the only people in the world. You can't afford not to take it. If you
Yeah.
want your body to heal, and I've always said right from the beginning, I got this word come through, and it was to reclaim your health. Take it away from pharma.
Mm-hmm.
Remember who we are, and we are nature. We came from the earth, and we go back to the earth. We work in symbiosis together, and that's what pHix
Yeah.
is. Mother Nature's medicine.
Yeah, that's it. The herbs really are the medicine cabinet from God. So yeah,
Absolutely.
very
Absolutely.
healing.
Yeah.
Deb, you mentioned before, and it's a good point to bring up about taking when Robin was taking her own hops mixture.
Mm.
For people that haven't yet started their fixed journey, would you just like to share about how easy really it is? Because a lot of people think that you might have to, take it at certain times, or that you've got to go on a strict calorie controlled diet, to go along with it. Would you like to talk about what it is
Sure.
that you need to do when you want to start on Fix?
Okay. So the actual, the verbiage is you don't have to change anything. I actually don't go along with that now. At first, it was like, oh, yeah, you don't have to change anything. But actually, what it did for me is make myself even more aware of how clean I wanted to be, because I started to feel better. It is so simple. I wish I should have brought, oh, wait a minute. Here's one I prepared earlier. This is it. That's it. It's called a snap. And all you do is literally, I get up in the morning, 6 a.m., get up, get my glass of water, and you literally, where's the camera? You literally just do that and you squeeze it. It's 1.2 mils of the hop flour in purified water. That's it. It is so simple. It's got a very, I wouldn't even say a bitter taste. There's a tiny little, I'd say a little bit peachy, a little bit fruity. Sometimes I don't taste anything. And then that's it. Now, what happens in the body is it creates thermogenesis, and thermogenesis is it's a fat burner. So it burns fat for up to 9.5 hours. So I take it at 6, and then actually I forgot to take my afternoon one because I'm on here, but I've got some tea here. You can put it in any drink, right? So my next one is due now. I usually take it between 7 and hours later. This is it. That's it. Put it in there. This is my second one of the day. That's it. I'm going to drink. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's it. That's how simple it is. Now, so what that means, and you can take it once a day or you can take it twice a day. So I'm getting like 19 hours of fat burning, potential fat burning. And how it's described is it works the same as an ice bath. If you were to sit in an ice bath and freeze, which burns 400 calories an hour, and then you'll have the impact of it for a few hours later. This works on a similar way, but you're getting that fat burning for that length of time. And there are some people that, have reported sensitivities in some way. Not there have been no allergic reactions at all. But what we'd say is just reduce down to one. If it's too much, like some people are wired. Oh, at night. Some people are like, they have to take it earlier because of that. Some people are taking it at bedtime because it's helping them sleep better. So you've got to work with your body and tune in with your body and what works for you. I know for me, if I take it too late, it's like, no, I'm a little bit wired. And it's crazy, isn't it? So I do take it 6 in the morning and between 2 and 3 in the afternoon. And that's as hard as it gets. You just got to
Yeah.
remember to take it.
And so people aren't necessarily changing their diet drastically or anything like that. They're
no,
just
no,
doing that and
doing
yeah.
that. However, I would never say, when it first launched here, it was given to MPG, and that's a whole other story. I won't even go to that. It was gifted to MPG. And they're cowboys, and it was, yes, stick it in your alcohol because it works quicker in alcohol. And it does. The research says it works quicker, but I would never,
Yeah.
unless I know, it's like, no, I want to promote healthy. And as Australians were going, we can't promote that you stick it in your whiskey or your beer, we need different marketing. But you can put it in any drink. They say you don't have to change anything. But what we're finding is people are wanting to get, as the fat's coming off, they're wanting to improve their state of health. So they are changing diet and lifestyle, and it's allowing them, when people, especially the obese, when it's allowing them to be more mobile, and so they're wanting to do more. And then what does it lifts the anxiety, it lifts the depression, and it's just bringing joy into people's lives again. I tell you, we have this product is just, I can't speak highly enough of it. I really
Yeah.
can't. Yeah.
Well, I do remember reading that when they first started using hops in and making beer, they used to call it the euphoric drink because
Oh, really?
people, yeah, yeah. And people are sort of saying that, when they're on fix, that they feel that they're calmer, life feels better. In so many different subtle ways, they're feeling that maybe not necessarily euphoria, but they are just feeling better within themselves. And then that's just got a whole, catch 22, because then they don't need to turn to the food for comfort, and they're seeing that their jeans are getting looser, and their tops are getting looser, and then that makes them feel better. And like I said before, you just feel like you're not thinking about food. It just seems to have a natural suppressant activity for your appetite. So there's just a really, well, it's a good spiral, a spiral upwards. And there's
Yeah,
so
for me, anxiety as well. I've never. I'm a confident person, but I used to get this anxiety, and that's like it's gone. And we read that a lot, and a lot of children with ADHD, even Asperger's, are like calm. A lot of children are taking this, and again, that's the vagus nerve being switched on, and anxiety levels are coming down. So I can't recommend highly enough for people with anxiety.
yeah,
Look at the testimonials with dementia that we're seeing coming through, like dementia being reversed. It's
yeah,
like, yeah, there's too many. Like now, it's a bit of a joke. The side effects are that you may not bloat anymore, that you may sleep better, that you may not have headaches anymore, that you will be less anxious. They're the side effects.
yeah,
And it's
yeah. And the brain fog lifting,
the
and
brain problem. That's right. Yeah,
and I'm
that's
seeing
right.
a lot of great results in children that are obese in their childhood. Are they taking the same dosage as an adult? If there are mums out there that want to give it to their kids, is it the same dosage as an adult would take?
I've seen both. I've seen some testimonials where mums are just doing one a day. There was
Mm-hmm.
one, there's one actually, Dr. Lynn McDonald in Scotland, one of her customers has a child with Rett syndrome. I think I posted that video. And Rett syndrome is a real, it's a life-limiting illness that children have, and it's basically it's a very debilitating disability. And this child is 9 years old, hadn't slept a whole night in her life, so
Oh,
neither had mum, and she gave her 3 drops. And so she was crying in this testimonial that she slept for the first time in 9 years with three
oh,
drops.
bless. Wow.
Yeah, and I heard Leanne Chapman yesterday talk about a young girl. She wanted to get the mum on, but the mum was couldn't make it yesterday. Her 6-year-old with ADHD and normally really wired, not sleeping, really hyper. And apparently he said to me, his mum, I feel really happy now.
Oh,
When you
wow.
hear stuff like that, how can you not be impacted by these testimonials?
Yeah,
They just touch your heart.
absolutely. Yeah,
And a child doesn't make that stuff up.
yeah.
A child who can't speak or walk or talk doesn't just
No.
suddenly go, sleep tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's the next
exactly.
time,
And I guess
hops in
that
the
if I was going to say, I guess that if you weren't entirely sure about the dosage, you could always just do some muscle testing, or get your kinesiologist to muscle test, or
perfect.
do the
Yeah,
sway test, and work out what might be a good dosage for someone.
yeah. I perfect. Yeah, I wouldn't even thought of that, Catherine, but I know there are a lot of kinesiologists that are doing that work. So for sure,
Mm. So would you
it's just
say is there any one group people that you're seeing fix work for, or is it across the board?
it's across the board, but I think the biggest thing has to be diabetes.
Wow.
I think it's definitely diabetes because we know that many overweight people are getting type 2 diabetes, you know, chronic illness, diet and lifestyle, sugar. And because of the leptin, because of what it's, and Nicola's the one to talk into the leptin, but it's all about the sugar management, the glucose management, and obviously the pHix is doing something in the body. And I'm just seeing so much about diabetes. Like
Wow.
every second post you see in the States would be blood sugars normalizing.
Wow, that is phenomenal when you consider the epidemic of diabetes across
Yeah,
first world
yeah,
countries. I mean, wow, what is
exactly.
this one little thing doing? Um,
Exactly.
that is a true game changer.
I would definitely say that out of everything, I mean, we see different things every day, but out of everything, there's pain. Pain is a big one. Like pain reduction is a huge one, and I'm testimony to that. Um, Menopausal symptoms, like completely like hot flushes, that's another big one. Um, we've got, like you said, the clarity, feeling less anxious, but it has to be diabetes. Yeah,
Wow.
it's got the levels are just coming down, normalizing. So yeah, the future is bright. If people listen to this and do their homework and ask for information, it's all there and we can share. For those of you that are listening, Catherine, she's the biggest heart-centered soul bundle of love that just wants good for the world and for everybody, as do I. And we wouldn't be sharing. We're not bullshitting. This is real. This is the real deal. It's the real deal. That's all
Yeah.
I can say.
Yeah. And let's just finishing off on letting people know about the fact that they if they choose to go on the fixed journey and they want to feel supported, just let people know about the community and how they can feel supported and nurtured and ask questions and all that sort of thing. What's the best way for that to happen?
So if you did want more information, then you're going to reach out to Catherine. And we have a team. We've built a you can just be a customer if you just wanted products, or if you wanted to share like Catherine and I are doing, and you'd be crazy not to, then there is a community. There's either a big community or there's our own little one that we're part of a bigger network. So you'll always be supported. There's always somebody there to answer questions. There's always somebody that you can reach out to. If there's an issue, if there's a problem, we have the most amazing support network. Joel in the Philippines is just a gem. So you would never not be supported in no way whatsoever. Anybody that would join our team would not be supported, and that's either as a team member or as a customer. And if you are interested in this, looking beyond this, because I'm telling you now, we are going nowhere. This is the beginning. This is the runway, right? This is the runway, and we're still on the runway. If you
Mm,
know what's coming, something is going to be launched. There are 2 products coming that are again going to be absolutely life-changing, exclusive products that you will only get one place in the world, which are going to be just as amazing as pHix. Then
mm,
if you're looking for something extra, some passive income or a business stream, whatever, and you care about people, there's nothing to lose, absolutely nothing to lose, but so much to gain. And we love it. We get to do this, we hang out, we bounce off each other. It's just we link arms. That's it. We just link arms with each other. It's a beautiful
yeah.
community. Really great people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heart-centered. Servant
Yeah.
leadership, you say. Yeah. Servant leadership. Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you so much for your time
Pleasure.
and all
I
your
love
wisdom and knowledge. It's wonderful to hear. And do you want to leave the name of our Facebook group or your Facebook group, but it's sort of everyone. So is
Yeah.
that the best way
Sure.
that people hop on and we can leave a link to it
Yeah.
as well?
I'll give you a link, Catherine, but it's a private Facebook group, and it's private for a reason, because people post sometimes very delicate information, or they might post before and after pictures, so we respect that. And the group is called Nature's Fix, pHix, Reclaim Your Health. That's the name of the page, Nature's Fix, Reclaim Your Health. And so you can find that. And if you're a friend of Catherine's on Facebook, you know, that's not a problem. Or if you just reach out to either of us, and we can get you in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And
it's
you've
my
got
shop, basically.
yes, and you've got a website as well, Deb. So what's your website?
Yeah, I have a website. It's called Fix Fat Fast.
Can you just repeat? You kind of
Fix,
froze for a minute.
PHAT, fat.
Fix Fat
All
Fast.
right. It's called Fix, but it's FIX PHAT fast.com.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So, but anybody on this call, you know, Catherine, this is your baby, and I really want to support you and everything that you do. And but yeah, please join the group. See for yourself the daily testimonials, and you'll be blown away. And introduce people, because we all know somebody with chronic illness. All of us. Everybody knows somebody with diabetes. Everybody knows somebody who's suffering from chronic pain. You know, everybody knows somebody who's got anxiety. Who can you help? Who can you reach out to? You know, and earn some money at the same time, because we all deserve that wealth, creation, and freedom. That's what this is about. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it's like everyone deserves to be wealthy and healthy, and so there's a potential for that. And you know, there is a bit of a stigma about network marketing, but the fact is that most, or a lot of network marketers are mums. You know, they're mums who are just trying to carve a little piece of the economic pie for themselves and their families, and they get to do it on their terms, on their time frame, and from the comfort of their home. So I think that we need to begin to turn that concept of it being sort of you know, creepy and salesy, and turn that around just to support the average person who just wants to have a better life for themselves and not get stuck in the matrix of the 9-to-5 corporate world.
And I've just actually, my last day of work at the clinic is Friday.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I made that. I cut down to one day, and now this. And even if you just wanted your product for free and you didn't want the business side of it, we're not selling anything. Forget the selling. We are sharing something so unique. It's not hard. It's not hard to share with people. It really isn't. It's just like right now, we want to create that ripple effect, because that ripple effect is going nowhere. And you might as well be a part of it. Just come and join us. And, you know, those people that say, oh, network marketing, pyramid, those days are gone. Forget that. That's the old paradigm. This is not. We are now it's a decentralized platform. The binary compensation plan is like one of the best in the industry. That's why we've got big players leaving big money in other companies coming across, because they know that this is a legacy company. And so even if you just wanted to purchase your product and get it for free, it's sharing with 4 people. We can all do that. That's it.
Yeah.
Come and join us. Yeah. But thank you, Catherine. It's been great. I've loved it.
Yeah, well, thank you. See you, Deb. We'll do more.
All right, we will. I'd love to. Thanks, Catherine. Bye, everybody. Bye.